Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. All right, I'll wait a minute for some people to come in. I don't know. Again, I'm on here now, and it seems like I don't know. You guys tell me if you can hear me and see me well. Let me know. Like if I look okay, because on my end things are looking kind of odd. All right. And yes, I have my hair out for the moment. But we'll be braided up here soon. I was missing my hair, so. All right. I hope you guys have been doing so very well. I hope you guys have been doing so very well. Right. All right. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started. You guys can come in as you will. When you do come in, let me know if you can hear me and see me well by putting a number 9 in the chat. And yes, this will be. See, it seems like there's some sort of filter on here that because my eyes are looking kind of odd. But I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments, and I have other things to do per usual. So let me get started. So I wanted to make this upload just to give you guys some information in case you are wanting to come to Costa Rica and make Costa Rica your home. We've been here for quite some time now, nearly a year. And I think it's, important that I share, our experiences with you all as it relates to living expenses. It's not something that I think I've really gone in depth about or really talked about. So yeah, let's just get into it. So what I have found from my experience is that the most expensive thing here is food for us. We spend a lot of money on food. So if you are coming to Costa Rica, please understand that you will be paying a pretty penny for your groceries. Now, there are alternatives that I have not taken advantage of, where your cost can be reduced. And that is, I know that they have local like farmers markets and things of that nature. And I have not partaken. I think one time I did, but it wasn't the big farmers market. It was just kind of like a local farmers market somewhere in Belém. And so if you are planning on shopping, at the grocery stores, like the premier grocery store, that has, a lot of the things that we may be accustomed to. You have the auto mercado. It's called auto mercado. So you have that. Of course, you have Maxi Pali. Um, and yeah, they do have Walmarts, here, but things are expensive even in the Walmarts. So we went shopping just the day before yesterday, food shopping, and again, if you guys can hear me and see me well, put a number 9 in the chat. I see we just have one person here. Okay, so we went shopping the other day and we bought 20 items from the store. And this is at Auto Mercado. And it cost us 160 USD. Okay. Again, 20 items. So we, that's the average price, that we pay when we go in there to pick up just like a few things. I mean, we got some produce and, some fruits and veggies. And just a few other dry foods, like pasta, some sauces and things of that nature. And like I said, it was 20 items and then a couple of drinks. It was 160 USD, and that's pretty much the amount that we pay or more when we go into Auto Mercado. We also have a membership. They have a place here called Price Smart. So it's like your Costco, in America. And so we have a membership for that. And I think the membership costs us like 16 USD. And, you go in there, you can buy things for bulk. Hella expensive. Oh, hi, Ubuntu Academy. Peace, love, and light. Good to see you. Hey, Dada, I just came to show you love here. I'm working right now. Your live is just popped. Well, I'm working. You look younger, Dada. You're here like middle school girls. I know. I know I look like a little girl. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's so good to see you. You've supported me from the very beginning, and I just really appreciate you. So have a beautiful rest of your day. This will be available for all who, would like to play it back once it's posted. So have a beautiful day, and thank you. So they have the Price Mart, which is like the Costco. We go in there. I mean, we bought 8 items one time, and it cost us $200. Again, it's in bulk, but everything is like overly priced because of importation. Okay. And yeah, it's just really expensive. So, just be prepared. So when you come to Costa Rica, to pay a lot for, your food and a lot of other things. I mean, electronics are a lot of money. They're overly priced. Just a lot. We went in and looked at a car. We wanted to get a car, overly priced. So, I was told that the average, like before I got here, I did do research, and I was told that the average cost for a vehicle, regardless, of how old it may be, was the minimum was 5,000 USD. And so you could get what we call a hoopty, like in the US. And that's our Ebonic phrase, for just like an old, broken down car. So you can get a hoopty, and again, that would be like 5,000. That's what I was told prior to even coming here. So, if you're wanting a car that's in better shape and better condition, or a newer model, then expect to pay significantly more. So, you have your food. Transportation can get pricier. Of course, we take Uber. And it can get pricey. And we're not living. We live just outside the city in the suburbs, and so to take an Uber from here to get to, let's say, the city mall, okay, um, that cost a good almost 6,000, sometimes over 6,000, depending upon the time of day. Okay, and that's CRC. Um, yeah, and if you're having to, I mean, the issue that you run into with Uber is that, let's say you have to make multiple stops, like we often have to do, because we go to various stores so that we can get certain things. So we may go to Automocado to get certain things, and then we may go to Price Mart to get other things, and we may go to Maxi Pally. Like, we go to various stores. So when you're having to make all these stops, and you don't want to carry the groceries or the items that you bought from the previous store with you, it gets pricey, but you have to go to each location. So oftentimes what we've had to do, because especially like if we have a lot of groceries, and so we have to return home, drop those off, and then take another Uber to get to the next destination. Asking an Uber to wait cost it costs money, and so yeah, that can get pricey. It's pricey as well. So just be prepared. Costa Rica is absolutely beautiful. It's extremely peaceful. It's a beautiful place to reside. However, economically, it's expensive, and you have to prepare yourself, for that. And again, you have to remember that it costs a lot for them to import items here. We are in Central America. One thing I did notice is when we were in Mexico, things were a lot inexpensive. Excuse me, you guys. Because I'm waiting on food. Things were a lot less inexpensive in Mexico. Of course, Mexico is North America. And so that's probably a good reason why things are a lot less expensive. Even the Ubers were less expensive. When I wanted to go and buy clothing, it was less expensive in Mexico. So clothing, food, Uber, all of those things I found to be a lot less expensive when we were in Mexico compared to, Costa Rica. So each place has its pros, each place has its cons, but I did want to, let you guys know, about our living expenses, because they've been quite significant. They really have. So yeah, and then some were asking about the Nomad visa. Now, before I get into the Nomad visa, housing, it can be inexpensive or it can be expensive. It depends on how you want to live. If you're wanting to live in, and pretty much every apartment complex from what I've seen, because prior to us getting our place, we stayed in a lot of places in Costa Rica. On the San Jose side, they are fully secured. They have security, okay, that monitors the comings and goings of visitors, okay? And so they can be, if you're wanting to live in a really nice, apartment complex or high rise, it can be expensive. It can be, especially if you want it furnished. So furnished can go from 700 all the way up into the thousands of USD. If you're wanting to live, of course, further away and further out, then the price drops significantly. But you have to make sure that you're going to be able to get the things that you need, have access to the things that you need if you're wanting to move further away. Also, keep in mind the language barrier. If you're not fluent in Spanish, that may be a problem, because the further away you move, then the less likelihood that the people around you speak English. Okay. So that's another thing to consider. So things can be inexpensive depending upon your close proximity to the city. And depending upon how you want to live, if you want a house, and if you want to live in a nice, apartment complex, high rise condo, those can get pretty pricey. And you have to remember, they have security, they have that staff, they have to pay them. They have, cleaning staff that they have to pay to make sure that they keep everything up. They have gardeners that they have to pay to keep things up. So things are pricey. They're not as inexpensive as people may lead you to believe. Things can get pretty pricey, but I find that you can find what you need in Costa Rica. Like if your price point is 600, 500, you can find that. But again, it just depends upon the types of things that you're needing in that place. If you're needing it to be furnished or unfurnished, all of those things play a role in the pricing. Okay. And what I find best is to deal with owners. I like to deal with owners, although I did not deal with the owner on this one. I was very blessed to find a great, real estate agent. However, wherever I've gone, I've always sought to deal with an owner. It just seems like less complex, to deal with the owner. And I feel like you can get what it is that you're needing and looking for when you're dealing directly with the owner, as opposed to having a middle person who requires a commission. Okay. And depending upon that commission structure. So that's another thing you want to consider. So food, expensive. Transportation can get very expensive if you're needing to go to multiple places, at a time, and you're having to catch Uber, and depending upon where you're living. Again, we live in the suburbs of the city. So just metro, San Jose. So it's expensive. What are the other expenses that we've had? Oh, ladies, if you're wanting to get your nails done, expensive. Okay. When I go, so I check this and check on the guy. When I go to get my nails and my feet done, it costs nearly 50 USD. If I want to get my nails and my feet done, that's the cost. Okay. It's like 50 USD. Other times, if I just want to go in and just get my nails done, it's still expensive. It's like 36, 37 USD. So it's commensurate to what you would pay in the US. But if you're getting both nails and feet done, it's 50 USD or more. Okay. Because when I went into the mall, when I first got here and I was looking around for someone to do my nails and my feet, I was told even 75 for my nails and my feet. So it's expensive. When I was in Mexico and I got my nails done, and honestly, I think she's the best nail tech that I have ever had. And I've been getting my nails done off and on since I was 15 years old. So, amazing artist. She can do any design. And just impeccable work. It cost me for my design. It was 13 USD. 13 USD for me to get my nails done in Mexico. So things, again, were significantly lower as it relates to, keeping yourself up and getting your nails done. Hair products. For those of us that are natural, really important that you bring your own hair products. Again, I am living on the San Jose side, so I can't speak for how it is over on the Caribbean side, like in Puerto Viejo or Limon, all of those Caribbean areas. But I would gather that they do have hair products that that cater to our type of hair texture over there, because that's where a lot of the Afro Costa Ricans live. And, there's a lot of Afro culture over there. But on this side, because of the demographics, there aren't a lot of us on this side. And so, the selection of hair products I find are lacking. But again, it's catering to the majority, the demographic that's the majority here. So it's important that, you bring your own hair products, okay? But products, hair products, all of those things, cosmetics, very expensive. So every time that I go back to our neck of the woods in North America, I'm racking up and I'm bringing things with me that I need. But I also own um, a beauty supply store called Carbon Coated Beauty Supply. So I am setting that up so that I can ship things even internationally. We will ship internationally. So as soon as we're up and running for international shipping, I will definitely let you guys know. As soon as the website is complete, I will let you guys know. Okay. So I can get a lot of my own products, but whatever it is that I don't have when I go home, I make sure that I bring it back. So that's also important for you to know. So yes, I hope that I was able to share from our experiences, and I hope that the information is beneficial to you. I that's just been our experience. Okay, now as it relates to the Nomad visa, they finally gotten the particulars sorted out for the Nomad visa. So I'm going to run down a few requirements that you need if you're interested. Now, this Nomad visa is not a residency visa. This Nomad visa is not a residency visa. Okay. It allows you to stay in the country for up to 1 year, and with the option to extend another year while you're working for a company that is outside of Costa Rica. Okay. All right. Because otherwise, if when you're coming to Costa Rica, I'm sure if you hold a U.S. passport, they allow you to stay 90 days at a time. Okay. And then you're going to have to exit out and then come back. Okay. If you want to continue to stay. So the requirement is that you have to make 3,000 USD for the past 12 months. Okay. To show and to prove that you meet this income requirement, you have to produce bank statements. Okay, your bank statements have to show that you're making 3,000 USD per month for the past 12 months. Okay, they also will allow a public accountant to verify your income for you. They will accept that as well. You're also going to need, of course, a copy of the picture and information page of your passport. If you are already inside of Costa Rica, you will also need to provide a copy of the stamp, the entry stamp, your most recent entry stamp into the country. Okay, that's if you're already in Costa Rica. Okay. Any supporting documents that are not in Spanish, they're going to need to be translated. Okay. So you have to have those translated into Spanish. And if you are applying with dependents, you have to make sure that you submit a copy of the birth certificate for your child or children. Okay. And of course, the stamp, the entry stamp for them as well. So it's important, that you have that. Also, it may be helpful to also include, if you are a single parent, to include the custody agreement or custody order. And you would have to have that translated into Spanish as well. Okay. So I want to make sure that I did not forget anything. And you have to apply. I think it's like 100 USD. Each applicant, regardless of their age, they have to submit a separate application has to be submitted for them. And so that would be, another $100 and another separate application for your dependents or spouse or what have you. So it's $100. You will have to apply online. I'll put the link to where you need to apply somewhere in the description or comment section, and I'll pin it there. So you have to initiate the process online, or you could do it in person. They also have a website where you can request an appointment with immigration so that you can submit your documents in person. So they do have that option. But if you are not in the country, of course, it would make more sense for you to submit it, online. And I think it's called Tramita Ya, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So that is the website that you would go on to submit your application. But again, I will drop the link in the description box. It says that immigration has about 5 to 6 days to let you know if there are any other documents that they're requiring. And then after that, after you've submitted, a complete packet, I think they have up to like 15 days, to business days to respond to you to let you know, whether you are approved or denied. So the process seems to be very seamless. And so it's good that they have, those are reasonable time limits, for them to respond. So that is what I have. Again, you need to do your due diligence and go on the web and find out for yourself, about all the documents that they require. That's what I can recall at this time. Okay. And again, it allows you to stay in Costa Rica for up to 1 year. So that you don't have to continue to exit out every 90 days. And they do allow you to extend for another year. Of course, approval of that is solely up to immigration. All right. So the other thing that, and let me know if you guys have any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them or find the answer if I am able, for you all. But the peace, the serenity, the lushness of the greenery and nature and streams that you can drink from and blue zones and the diverse the animals, the diversity of the animals that are here that you get to see, or the creatures, the beautiful creatures. It really, if you're wanting to do some healing, I would say, Costa Rica is definitely a place where you can absolutely do that. And the safety, and from what I read, Costa Rica is still considered, I think was like the safest place, one of the safest places to visit in Latin America, and really anywhere. Really, I would say worldwide, it should be on that list. I have felt completely safe here. Is there crimes, and are they? Of course, that's everywhere. But in some places, it's just too much, and and that has not been my experience here in Costa Rica. I can hear a pin drop at any moment of the day, except from, when the men are out working, but, or if, my neighbor is fixing up on something. But other than that, we've felt totally safe and secure here since the moment we arrived here, in Costa Rica. So if you're looking for peace, if you're looking for serenity, if you're looking to be closer to nature, Costa Rica is definitely a place that can offer you those things. However, just make sure that you're preparing yourself financially as it relates to, the basic things that you need, the food and I wouldn't say clothing too much. I don't know. It depends on you. I love fashion. I have enough clothes. I owned a boutique. But yeah, when I do go out and, for like my shoes and things of that nature, because I've needed some new boots. They were expensive. So, I would say that the clothing is expensive, but definitely the food, definitely, transportation, whether you're using Uber or you're wanting your own transportation, expensive. It's expensive. So of course, the one thing that we all should be doing, and that has helped me as well, but because I'm going out to other lands here soon, um, I haven't planted as much as I have in my other places. So, but if you're coming and that you're not going to be moving around, it will behoove you to grow your own. So there are certain things that I have, like cilantro and things of that nature, things that I know that I eat a lot of. I plant so that I can just have that readily available, and that's something that everybody should be doing. And one thing about it is here in Costa Rica is that a lot of times they leave the stems and the roots and things on the produce, on the fruits and veggies, so that you can easily regrow your food on your own. And it's something that we all should be doing. And then that way, you don't have to worry about, paying for overpriced food, because you'll have it within your own home or space. So that will alleviate, the food cost, if you chose to grow your own food, or again, if you go and deal with, farmers, and things of that nature. I know one time a friend of mine here drove me up in the mountains, and I got so many things from the farmers, that were up there selling things. So make a connection with a local farmer. They, like I said, they do have farmers market. They have a big one. I have not been to the big one. I've only gone to a little smaller one in Belin, and things were less than what I paid in the store. But it just depends on your life and your lifestyle. I have so much on my plate. I just try, when I have to go out and get food, I just want to go out and get it and make sure I have it. And then so that I can tend to the other important things, that I have going on here with me acquiring the land, and making sure that, I make the right decision as to where we're going to plant our feet on solid ground and hunker down. Okay. So that takes care of, our experience with our cost of living. It takes care of, the Nomad visa that people were asking about. And just a last note that's really important, and what I have discovered, okay, for me, I'll say, it has been a process, I would say. I have been in deep meditation, and I still am in meditation concerning where to, hunker down. There are so many factors, you know, um, the political, what the political climate is in a place, um, the ecological, the ecological standpoint. We have to consider that. What foods do we have? Like those of us that still may eat meat or, fish or whatever, just can we get those things, readily, for ourselves? Especially if you're living in a coastal region, just making sure, of course, that you can always go fishing and, or what other seafood creatures that you may like to eat, that you'll have those things available to you if you're living on the coast. The demographics, also are important, and making sure that you're in an environment where you are safe, and that, where it's just not so little of, melanated people. That may be, a factor to consider. But it's not to say that you couldn't go to a place where there aren't a lot of melanated people. It just depends on the mentality of the people. And so just having to research that and to see how people who are like you and similar to you, how they receive people like you, That's important, to know, because you don't want to put yourself in a compromising situation where you could be in danger. Um, so that, and the climate in itself, if you're coming here and you're wanting to acquire land in CR, you have to understand that it rains heavily 6 months out of the year. They have a rainy season and then they have summertime. So it's really important, that you really kind of reason with yourself and do some introspection to decide, can I live in such a place, that rains 6 months out of the year? I know it was really difficult for me, as it changes, it affects my mood. It really does. And so, yeah, just the climate. Maybe some climates are hotter than others. Can you really deal with that? So all of those factors, the sense of community in a place when the stuff hits the fan and lights are out. Can you depend on that community that's around you to be of assistance? All of these things are really important when you're trying to decide where you want to be, where you want to hunker down, where you want to, acquire land and build up your homestead. So all of these things are really, really important. And these are things, and the overall energy of the place. Like I said before, there are ley lines, and ley lines are the veins of the earth. So, there are various types of energies that are attached to various lands, and the mentality of the people, they affect, the energy of the atmosphere. So it's just really, it's a lot of things that that you need to consider, we should be considering, and it's really an individual journey, that you will have to take. It's great to look at videos and get motivated about various places and get information that's beneficial and that may help you make a decision. But ultimately, it is your decision to make. And so I just implore you to make sure that you are doing your due diligence, weighing all of the pros and the cons, and really brainstorming and meditating to make sure that you make the right decision about where it is that you're wanting to lay down and build up your homestead. Lay down roots and build up your homestead. And so that was it. I just wanted to share that with you all and let you know that that's really where, I've been, and I have places narrowed down, finally narrowed down. And it's a process and it takes time. So just make sure that you're doing that. I would hate for you, to jump head first, into acquiring land and building up in a place that may ultimately end up being not a good decision, because you did not weigh all of your options, and you did not, weigh the pros and the cons, and, expound on, all of the factors, that you need to consider when you're thinking about laying down roots in a place and building a homestead. So, with that being said, it's not too many people in. I see a few people in. Sai, I think it's the other guy because there's two. Sai, here, there's two. He might be here. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? I'll wait just for a few. Again, I will put the link somewhere in the description or the comment. I'll pin it there to Tramiraja, where you can go ahead and apply for the Nomad visa if that is something that you would like to do. But does anybody else have any, other questions before I end this? Also, it would be helpful, again, doing the mini communities coming together so that it could lessen the burden, of the financial cost. It's always better when you can team up, with others, who are like-minded, and that way, you can do a half and half or split it 3 ways or 4 ways. Like, we really need to, get back to that, and if it's an issue for you, if you feel like, right now finances are lacking, but you really do, want to get out, you could join in with someone else, who's like-minded. Of course, doing your due diligence, making sure that they really are like-minded, and that you really can coexist with them. But if you have someone, who you've proven, to be, um, a great friend, it would be very beneficial, for you to team up with that person or those persons and come together and, build a homestead together. Two or more is always, most often better than one, especially like if you're in good company. So if there aren't any other questions, I implore you all, like I always do, to continue to do your work. Continue to do your work. Continue to up those keep your vibrations high, and surround yourself with those who are operating in high vibrations. And make sure you're doing your work, and make sure you're coming together and building your mini communities to prepare. So many things, you guys. I didn't want to intertwine it in this video. There's just so many things that are going on that's like red light warning, red light warning. And so, yeah, like get your money out the banks. I would, get some coins, get your silver, get your gold. Um, because these banks are not to be trusted. They are not to be trusted. So make sure that you get your money out of these financial institutions. You have Russia telling Americans that they want them out. You have Japan and China and Russia who are, coming together to drown the US dollar, because right now the US dollar is on top. And as a result, it has lowered the value of the money of pretty much everyone else. UK is struggling with their currency, China, Japan, but China, Japan, and Russia have a plan. According to economists, they are tanking the US dollar. They're selling off their US bonds, and they are backing their new currency with gold. Okay. So things are progressing here forward. I do want to do a video on how we've gotten to the point where we are. I want to do a video. Well, I did a video showing you guys telling you guys about the straw man. Okay. I've told you about your straw man. So you have to go through my content and look at that video. I want to do a video to show you guys how your wealth was taken from you. Okay. So I will be putting together that video, letting you know how we got onto how you were deemed as dead. Because as you know, we're under maritime law now. You are considered dead. I want to do a video to explain how we got to where we are, how our wealth was stolen by 3 different types of trust. Okay. And so I will be doing a video and uploading that as soon as I get it all together for you all. It's important that you know. It's important that you know. Okay. That red number that you have on the back of your social security card, the number that you have on your birth certificate, all of those 2 numbers are very significant. Very, very significant. Okay. Um, so let me see. Oh, wow. Oh, Queen Nubia. Peace and light. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. Oh, wow. Are you in Costa Rica? I just left there Saturday. Oh, how was your experience? What side were you on? Were you on the Caribbean side or over in San Jose? I would like to return in a few weeks to learn how to do business there. Wonderful. That is wonderful. Yes. Tell me about your experience, Queen Nubia. How did you like it? Where were you? In Costa Rica. That's beautiful. Yeah, coming here to start business. A lot of us need to take advantage of that. There's a lot of opportunities here. So that's wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear. I heard how a lot of us are in Belize and a lot are starting farms. Like, it's so dope. Like, that's wonderful to see. Like, those are the things that really touch my heart. They're very necessary and extremely beneficial to the community. So I was on the Caribbean side. Yeah. And we are going over on the Caribbean side. We have not been over on the Caribbean side yet, you guys. We've been in other lands outside of Costa Rica. And I finally just put my foot down and said, it's time to get over there. So there's a community, a growing community there. There's a beautiful sister who I speak to on IG. And she's been a big help. Like, whenever I have a question, she is there to answer it. But they have a community growing over there. They did an event there, I think back in June. So there's a growing community over there, on the Caribbean side. So I'm sure you had a beautiful, beautiful time. But yeah, definitely, keep in touch. I would like to know more about the business that you're starting. I definitely would like to make sure that I support. Okay. So in any way. So that's really dope. You can email me at journeythroughacabulon at gmail.com. So such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. So yeah, if you guys don't have any other questions, I hope the information that I have shared has been beneficial. I do want to, there was a sister, I don't know if you're on, but she emailed me, and her message, it was just so beautiful, and it almost had me in tears. I mean, just, I do this purely, authentically. All the content that I have here is from my heart. I've always been balanced, and I've tried to be very balanced, in sharing my experiences. I like to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've always done that. I will always do that. I want to make sure that I, arm you all with all of the information that you would need, to make a well-informed decision, but also encourage you to do your due diligence and do your own research as well. But I never wanted to give you all a false perception about how things are in a particular land. If people are only just giving you the good, the good, the good, the good, then you need to be given the side eye. Okay. So there's always going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. Of course, in some places, some more than others. But I've always tried to be balanced in sharing my experiences with you all in these various lands that I have had the absolute pleasure, of visiting. As a sister who I met in Tanzania, and she emailed me because she has now transitioned over from Tanzania to Mexico. And she just, thanked me, for all of the content, and had just let me know that it's been very helpful. to her, and especially in making her decision to transition from the continent to Mexico. And then while she was on the continent, the content that I had as it relates to, Tanzania was very beneficial and helpful. And she thanked me so beautifully. And I just want to say that it is my absolute pleasure, to do this for you all. Again, I want to make sure that I am preparing you for your journey, in these various lands. And to do that, it's very important that I give a very balanced perspective. So I want to say to you, Lee, that it has been my pleasure. It has been my absolute pleasure. And I'm so grateful that the information that I have shared has been beneficial to you. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Amita Salahuddin, peace and blessings. My beautiful sister, Exodus Summit is having a virtual seminar with over 20 women presenting. Peace, love, and light to you, and welcome to Journey Through Al Kabilan and Beyond. It's a pleasure. I haven't seen you here before, and I welcome you. Thank you so much. And where is that going to be? Exodus Summit. What? I'm sorry. Like, what is that? And where is it going to be? And who's heading that? Queen Nubia, Puerto Viejo was amazing. I'm so over the US. I know. Aren't we all? I love that land. I know that, my grandmother, we're indigenous to that land. So I will never forsake that land. But the entities that are over this global, corporation that is headed in my hometown, Washington, D.C. I mean, they have just they have made it unbearable, to be there, and so I understand where you're coming from. And I'm so glad that you've had the courage and the will and the resources to come and explore, the other lands that we have here on our beautiful planet. Puerto Viejo is I will be visiting there, and I will be sharing my experience with you all. I get so excited when I think about going over. I'm still trying to decide if we're going to drive over, which I think takes a good 3 to 4 hours, or if we're going to go ahead and take the plane over, because they do have that as well. So yes, I heard it's absolutely gorgeous over there. I heard the food is delicious. So I just cannot wait. The whole vibe I heard is dope. So I can't wait. Costa Rica is quite expensive also. It's an upper middle class country. Correct. And this is why I made this video. It's important that people know so that they can prepare themselves. I don't want people coming over and they're hearing, oh, it's so peaceful, it's so great, it's so wonderful. Oh, and you can get a house for this little, or an apartment for this little. And then they think, oh, well, let me just go on over. That's it. No, there are other things that we need to consider. You have to eat, you're going to need other things, household things. And those things are expensive, again, because of importation. And so it's something that and food is important, it's important. So, it's something that we all need to survive. So, with the shelter and the food, yeah, you need to know that food is very expensive here, very expensive. And yes, the country, people are doing well. Like I've seen maybe 3, homeless people since I've been in CR. Like, the people do pretty well here, with what they have. They do pretty well. And it's beautiful to see. And it's beautiful to see that the country takes care of their own. That's beautiful to see. And so, yeah, it's not inexpensive to live, in Costa Rica, but it is one of the world's most beautiful paradises. So, you're gaining a lot too, when you come here, but you do need to be financially prepared. You do. let's see, the seminar addresses how to earn, move abroad money, as well as form communities. It's October 8th through the 10th. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Um, and it's going to be where? In the on the Caribbean side, or is it going to be in San Jose side? And thank you. And I'll be watching Queen Nubia, please fly. But I like to see because I feel like when I'm on a plane, I get robbed, really. That's what I feel like. I like to see, all of the beauty, nature, and the creatures. Like I want to have an experience, while I'm journeying to the land as well. Like that's just who I am. But I'll have to, decipher which one would be best, for us to do. We had to grow weed. We have to grow food. Yes, we do. And some of the men still fish. Great. And some people still live without electricity. Again, all we need, those are all great points, Queen Nubia. All we need is here. All we need has already been provided to us by source. There is water all around us. We live in a water world. There's water in the atmosphere. The brother, he showed us how to pull water from the atmosphere. Okay. Even the what is the machine? What's that? Dehumidifier that pulls water from the atmosphere. So water is all around us. We will never be without water. It's all around us. We just need to learn how to access the water that's around us. We'll always be able to grow our food. We'll always be able to do that. The soil is still going to be here. Daughter Earth will still provide that. Even through the shift. You just need to prepare. So we always have what we need. As far as electricity, we have the beautiful sun. Okay, so we have solar energy. We have wind energy. There's energy all around us. We just have to open up our minds. We come from people who have built the most greatest civilizations. We are, the origin. We are, so, we come from ancestors who were master alchemists, and so we have to get back to that ancient knowledge. All we need is here. We just have to tap into that ancient knowledge so that we can access it readily. Okay, so all that we need is here. And lastly, the people in Costa Rica, like I said, I've been well received in Mexico. So Mexico is my place too. And I can't wait till we go because I just got in residency there. But from the time that we have arrived, like I've said before, and I needed that love and that comfort just as I was transitioning from Alkebulan. And then we went to Mexico and then, back home and then came here. From the time that we've gotten here, things went very quickly, just very well received. The people are anxious to help you. They always are trying to see how they can help you. I've given many examples of when the locals have helped. Like I said, even the agent that got me this place and how, my cards expired and I, just didn't know. And she put up the rest of the money that I needed. Of course, I paid her back as soon as my mom mailed the, my new cards. But just that they're always here trying to help you in any way that they can. So they are a very caring people and a very nurturing people. And again, when we come in and out of our complex here, the security guards, they light up. They smile and, and they buenas, and so I needed that. that type of energy matches mine. And so I've just been so grateful, to be here in this time. And regardless of the, me exiting out and exploring other lands and possibly making other lands my home, um, I just want to send a sincere thank you to the people of Costa Rica. You've been so wonderful to us, and we're just so grateful, so grateful. You've received us with open arms. There were no hidden agendas. You have a heart that's full of charity. And I want to say thank you for receiving my son and myself so beautifully. We truly appreciate it. And I'm getting emotional because it's just been such a beautiful time here in Costa Rica. The people have been so good to us. And I just will never, ever allow, our experience here to leave me. It will always be with me. I will always carry this, in my heart. And it's just been beautiful. And so I say thank you. I say muchas gracias. And I just send you so much love. And, we'll always come back. We'll always come back. Costa Rica will always be a home for us. So I did want to send that message out, because the people have been so beautiful to us, and we truly appreciate it. So yeah. The Bree people are well prepared and knowledgeable and wise. Okay. I'm so excited for you, starting watching you when you were in Tanzania. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, we're going to go out, you guys. Like I said, we have our residency for Mexico. There were a lot of other lands in Mexico that I did not get to experience. Mexico is a magical place, like Costa Rica. It has magical places, but to me, Mexico is a very magical place. It's a lot. It has a lot of Olmecan history, and that's something that I definitely want to delve into when I get to Mexico, and tap into that ancestral energy there. And it's huge. So each place gives you this unique, cultural experience, and so there's so much more that we need to see, in Mexico. And I'm so grateful, to, Mexico, that they have made the process of residency so easy, for us all. Although I know that they're raising the economic solvency. I know that goes up, every year or so, and so it may be difficult for a lot of people because they don't make that much, if they're living on a fixed income, and so I can understand that. But they still offer 6 months. They offer you a 6-month visa when you have most other places that are offering just 90 days, and so it's quite generous. And so, if you do have the opportunity, it'd be great to go over and explore all the various lands, that Mexico, has to offer, the ancestral lands. And it's so much to learn. It is so much to learn, and so much happened there in Amexa. So yes. And that is, that is it. I will put the link, like I said, if you're interested in the Nomad visa. I will also update you guys on my various businesses. I am working so hard to reopen my boutique, Ivrit Royalty. It's almost there. Prior to the pandemic, I owned a boutique called Ivrit Royalty, so I'm reopening my boutique. I have my coffee, cups of Alkebulon. I have someone working on that, and then I have my beauty supply store. So I'm working hard to bring you, all of these things. And I'm also working on my second book. My first book I did not publish. It was a children's book called Why I Love You. And the reason why I didn't publish the book, or I stopped the process of publishing it, it's because the way that I want to present the book cost a lot of money. It comes with a device that is made in China, and the device is very, very, very expensive. So I will be publishing that book, but I have put it on the back burner, the children's book. But I am working on my second book, and it's coming along so very well. So as you can see, I have my hands in many, many different pots. Um, and so that's why my life is just really so, hectic. So I will be updating you all as things become solidified. Okay. So I thank you all so much for the viewership and the support. And I'm just so grateful that the information that I have shared has been, a benefit to you all. I love you all. Continue to do your work, keep your vibrations high. And until next time, you all be good. All right.